Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment. You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Well, what have we here?
It's a podcast.
Fine.
And what excitement we have today.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara and Rob Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, you're back. Look at you.
Did you talk about while I was, did you talk about me being gone? Or
Well, yeah, I told everyone the reason you weren't here was that you were still in Milwaukee for the convention.
So you didn't, right?
No, we didn't mention the real reason.
Well, I mean,
No.
sometimes you reference something and you'll say something snarky like elective plastic surgery or something.
That's a
like
standard joke, but yesterday I went with current events.
that. Like I was
Wouldn't it
at the
be funny if you
Republican
were
National-
still? Wouldn't it be funny if you were sharing a room with
All right.
with Hulk Hogan?
I say
brother?
that because I'm going to talk about while I was gone yesterday for a medical procedure that I seem to remember used to be, at least I remember it that way. The first one I ever got was kind of an in and out, no anesthesia deal,
Right.
and it's colonoscopy time.
I always
And
thought that
then-
was a twilight procedure. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought it. What do you mean twilight? Like you
Like,
were like
they don't
half
put you
knocked
out, but they really, really relax you.
I'm going to say to our listening audience right now and our viewing audience, if you are slightly queasy, I'm going to be as delicate as I possibly can, but it's probably a good idea that just go away.
What if
you
they're
don't
right
like-
now, if they're streaming live and they're just diving into their cornflakes? What is your recommendation?
I don't think I handle it. Look, there are a lot of things you do better than I do, but this is something I do better than you do.
Okay.
I'm able to discuss these things and keep it in such a way that my training of 40 years
Yes.
as a broadcaster, dancing around subjects that involve bodily functions. I think I can keep it
Yeah.
palatable.
But there are
Palatable.
things that I'm
Good
better
word.
at you than, like ballroom dancing. I think delicate baking.
knowledge of
Pastries.
classic films.
Yeah, I think we complement each other. How
And I
about
would
that?
like to say thank you to Katie for covering for me yesterday. I appreciate that. And it begins with, for anybody that's gone through that, and for the younger people in our audience that have not yet been there, a colonoscopy is a pretty well publicized procedure that you get when they take a look inside your colon to see if
Didn't you
everything's
do
okay.
one in your classic rock morning show days? You did one
I've
as
done
like
them-
a PSA.
Well, I've had
right?
diverticulitis, which is an issue with digestion. So I've been.
Yeah.
I am a veteran of these procedures since I was a young person. I've been
Right.
doing them for a long time, and they go in and they, depending on what they find, that dictates how many years apart you will do these. And so, the
Are you
the
still
chart,
monthly?
I've missed you. And so it was my time. And as I said, I used to remember that you could go in. It just seemed to me to be an in and out thing. So when I asked the
So
lady,
to speak.
so to speak, you're right. When I asked the lady, who was the I guess the PA, NP, a lot of initials with this
Yeah.
stuff, how long it's going to be, she said, well, you get there at 7:30 in the morning, and then we like to allow 2 to 3 hours. And I said, okay. I just don't remember it being, but that's what it was. So I planned to be in there. They were going to knock me out, give me
Okay.
the anesthesia, which I also, the first one I think I ever got, I got without anesthesia. And I think that Katie Couric, who lost her husband to colon cancer,
Right.
she got hers while she was on TV, and she was awake.
I remember
So-
when she did, that was a big deal. Actually, the colonoscopy was performed by Willard, and they did it going into weather. It was a tremendous bit on to the Today Show.
Willard had, always had the hands of a surgeon. It was always great. Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show.
Well,
So
getting put
yeah.
to sleep is going to add at least another hour to your procedure.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
So but it is a multifold procedure in that the night before they give you a prescription and then they give you a giant jug.
I remember
And-
this being the worst part of it.
The giant jug is filled with a powdered substance that you dissolve in a jug full of water, and then on the side it has a little lemon lime packet that you put in the water to flavor the water, and they say you can refrigerate it prior to your time, and that don't eat 4 hours before you start what is called your cleanse. So this is I have a little chow right about 2:00, knowing I'm gonna start this thing at about 5:45. So I give myself.
What was your
plenty of
last
time.
meal? Your final meal, the
I
Last
knew-
Supper?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
Well, I mean,
Now this
people
is where
want to
it gets
know.
gross because you're such a pain in the ass. You're such a nudge. Pizza,
That's what I had for dinner last
probably
night.
not the best choice, as things turn out.
When I had my colonoscopy, my final meal was my wife's famous corn and peanut casserole.
Okay. See, Josh, you see what I mean? Where he,
Yep.
this
could
is just
have left it at the pizza.
he could have, but he can't. He can't, and he's gross. He has always been gross, and that's why he's good at gross. So I will get to.
You take a can of cream of mushroom soup, fresh
Loaded
corn
with
off
corn
the
and
cob,
peanuts. Okay, thank you.
honey roasted peanuts. Delicious. It's more of a sweet than a savory casserole.
I'll tell you this. I do feel that he's happy to have me back.
I
I
am.
really do, because this is where he now feels, instead of running the show, that he can do what he loves to do, which is just sit there on the side with darts in his hands and just throw at the easy targets.
There are
which
no
I
darts. What I'm just
No,
reacting.
but you react to, it's me.
You're
pitching,
proactive, and I'm
pitching
reactive.
these softballs to you, and you are hitting it everywhere. This is batting practice for you right now. That's what it is. Probably why it works,
So
at
you,
least in some people's minds. Why
so
it
you
works.
have the pizza,
And then 5:45 I start. I don't have anything to eat from 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm supposed to be there the following morning at bright and early at 7:30 in the morning.
did you chill your jug? I would think having it
I
cold
chilled it, but I
would
chilled
be
it
huge.
with a very limited amount of time, and it was not cold at all. And at that point, I said, "To hell with that! I don't need that. I've done this before." And I start the procedure, and I do not fit the digestive profile of the average person. So when it tells you in the instructions you should experience a reaction within an hour, you can pretty much double that for me.
So 2 hours before it reacts.
Here's where it gets tricky.
Okay.
Either I did not pay close attention to the instructions, or the instructions were not given to me in a timely fashion. I don't know. I don't want to cast any blame, but let me say that in the past, I have walked out of the office with a packet. I did not walk out of the office with my little pregame packet. They
Yeah,
wanted
they
to
love
do
that.
the meeting. They wanted to do the meeting to make sure, blah, 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 that everything's done. But I didn't walk out with a packet. So,
Because now what they do when I go to the doctor is they say, we'll email it to you.
and
Check your
that's-
email for the form.
But with the internet, I got my prescription. I read the side. I know what I'm supposed to do. And you have this jug, and you're supposed to drink 8 ounces of this substance every 10 minutes. And
That's
within about
tough.
within about 40 minutes, 8 ounces becomes, it might as well be 20 ounces, because it's just drinking this
Yeah.
stuff. So I've done it before. I know what it's about. It's no big deal.
I couldn't
Everybody
even do
does it.
that when I was drinking. I mean, you could prescribe me a jug of lemonade and vodka. I couldn't do that.
No, it's like a Survivor challenge.
Might kill you
Yeah.
if you did it that fast. So I'm drinking this stuff, and then instead of 1 hour, about 2 hours, the reaction takes place, the colon blow reaction. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. But then it went on, and on and on and on and on. And the way they
Were you at
explain
a
it-
point where you couldn't leave the bathroom? You just were hanging out
I was
there?
there was a period of time where I had to be close by, which
Yeah.
everybody has to. That's
Sure.
the way it works. But the essence of what they give you is that it is going to flush out your system so that in the morning when you show up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at the location, you will be able to they'll be able to put the tube up your butt and they'll get a nice clean picture of your insides, and that's it. However, the more you know. The process went well into the wee hours of the morning for me.
It's tough.
And the reason it did, and at a certain point, I started to drink water. And the reason I started to drink water was the desired result. And the best way that I can explain the desired result is that the window, as your car has driven through the sandstorm with rain and it's gotten your car, cloudy, you're by the time you get the wipers working, it should be a clean window. It's
Right.
not a clean window. It's so gross.
Oh,
It's not where the desired result has not been achieved.
right.
Into the next morning, finally go to sleep. I'm exhausted. Gotten 3 hours of sleep. I am beyond exhausted.
When you're at this situation, is your main concern your health, or that you're going to embarrass yourself that when you go to the doctor?
No embarrassment is necessary. What my concern is that I will not be having this.
Okay.
I won't have this
understand.
done. But it's Sunday night, of course,
Yeah.
because that's the way you always want to have, when there's no one to communicate with.
Right.
That's the night before. And so I go through the whole deal. Morning comes. I don't believe I am completed, that it's ready to go. However, I go to the place.
Yeah.
This is so embarrassing. But I have to tell people,
What are you wearing? Like a toga?
an adult diaper.
Just trying to picture it.
I'm wearing shorts and a shirt.
Okay. All right. So
What does that
the
have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to know if. No, you know what? I withdraw the question. I withdraw the previous question and the question that was a
He's
follow-up.
such an ass, Josh. He really is.
He
I
had
was
the
wearing
joke
a
set up
lovely
with the
dress.
Well, I was just wondering if the process was still underway. Is all I'm saying. Because I
What do you think?
remember
I'm
when.
supposed to wear a kilt
Well, okay, I'll
for
I'll
easy
embarrass.
access or what?
I'll embarrass myself here, Mike. When I had my,
I don't want
last
to hear about
colonoscopy-
yours. I
No.
don't want to hear about yours.
I'll just
That'll
say that
make me
when we
throw
drove
up.
to the hospital, I sat on a towel in the car because things were still going on. That's all I'm saying. So I'm wondering if you were still going
Josh,
on.
has anything ever proven a point more than what he just said?
It's got to come out. He has,
It's just he can't. He
can't
cannot
keep it in.
It's
Well, I'm
so
just-
he's so great. I have never in all those procedures ever had to sit. That I'm ready to.
No.
You've wrecked it.
I didn't use the towel. It was just
All
an
right,
insurance
stop
policy.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't want to hear about yours anymore.
Okay, well, it's on my only point of reference, Mike. I'm sorry.
But I get there. It's a new location. They're putting me out, and they're actually doing it in a hospital. And so, which is, if you're going to go under, I'm fine with that. I'm not as young as I used to be.
Is it the
Wanna make
hospital
sure.
that where you always go to the ER?
He is wound up. You are so wound up.
It's not that.
You
It's
are
just-
so wound up. It's like I get to do what I do every day. That's what this excitement is. I get to go back to what I do every day. I don't have added responsibilities. That's it. I can do what I love doing. I get it. I'm fine with it. It's fine.
All right.
No, it's a new joint. It's down
Okay,
in Naples,
great.
Florida. It's all the way
Good.
down in Naples, Florida. And it's not familiar, so it takes a little extra time. I have to have a driver. Carla drives me down there. They confirm once we get in there. By this time, it's about 8 o'clock-ish. And they say, hey, Carla, what will be the time? She said 2 to 3 hours again. I thought it was 2
Okay.
to 3 hours total time. It's not. But anyway. I wait, Michael, And I go back down. And at this point, I'm waiting to tell someone who is not the check-in person or the person that just takes your vitals. I know that this information should be given to someone. I don't wait. I'm speaking to the woman who's basically weighing me and measuring my height, who's probably not the person to tell, because at that point she says, I'll tell the nurse about the fact that you do not feel that the cleanse has gone according to plan.
When you said it, you knew it was just sort of spitting into the
I knew
wind.
it would have to
useless.
be mentioned again.
Right.
And then and they palm that information off to everybody. All right. And ultimately they palm it to the doctor, who is a very nice man. And I go in and they get me ready and they're asking me questions. At this point, this is where I screwed up. All right. I didn't know this, but I screwed up big time.
How?
The anesthesiologist comes in and he said, I see you had, did you have any water this morning? I said, yeah, I had a ton. I wanted to get the cleanse. You're not supposed to, because you're going to be put under. They don't want anything in your gut that you could aspirate when you are when you're under. I didn't notice that. All I was thinking about was this cleanse and getting it done, and it's not going well. I don't know why it's not going well. My plumbing works slow. That's all I can say about it. Excuse me. I've been through it's not, there's no pain, I'm just going through a procedure where it's not, and they say, we'll tell the doctor, he'll explain your options. And
worst possible thing you can hear at that point, your options.
But she also makes reference to they can deal with this, which says to me, well, then they can finish the procedure. But hear me out. So the anesthesiologist said, okay, we just have to be aware that we're going to delay your procedure because you drank the water. Now I've got two things I haven't been successful in. Following the instructions in the morning and finishing the job, the one job you're supposed to do when they're going to go into your teenage colon and take pictures. Jesus, I hate it.
And we'll have those on Facebook, right?
So they delay me, and the old men and the young man, the one on the right side and the one on the left, I was first, and now they're skipping over me to go to them because they have to wait. And I'm really not. I'm just feeling like I've wasted everybody's time, including the show's time. And I was depressed about this all day.
All right.
I was depressed about this all day. By the time I got out of there, I didn't want to, like we used to work with someone who would waltz in and suddenly everything changed at the last minute again. And there was preparation that went in, so I didn't bother doing that. I said, I could do that, or I could spend the afternoon in the house sulking. I'd rather sulk. So the doctor comes in and he says, well, here it is. It's ultimately your decision. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. He said, we could put you under and then get in there and see. And then if we're not able to, we can always come back and do it again. I don't think it's that great an idea to put you under and have you go through this twice, both for, and as soon as he said expense, and he said, but I'm on Medicare, so I don't know whether that means anything. Right. But as soon as he said expense, it didn't matter. I suddenly go, oh, expense. He said, or we could just reschedule and have you come back. And I said, what? And I look at him, and I know this is like the rules. They're not supposed to push you into. I said, well, what would you prefer? He said, well, it's not about what I would prefer. It's just I'll give you the fact. I get what he's doing. He can't push me. You know how that works with doctors, right?
Yeah,
They can't over-influence. But I said, it sounds to me like the best course of action would be for me to bag it and then come back. And he seemed, pardon the pun, relieved at that decision. But I'm not happy. This has been many, many hours, and I'm like,
and misery,
and I didn't get a chance to add. Well, of course, now you call. Hold on, Pat. I'll be right back. Fine. I have to take this.
Yeah, a lot of times a doctor, Josh, they won't tell you exactly what to do. Like when I was seeing
Right.
my psychiatrist, he said, I can't tell you to get a divorce, but this is certainly an option.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Been down that path.
I understand.
But I don't know. I mean, Mike said he got no sleep the night before. He should have just put himself to sleep right there and said, "Go ahead, doctor."
Yeah, he probably
I'll go to
could have
sleep."
just,
If
put
he's-
on
if
like
he's
a,
done- if he's done enough without being put out before,
yeah.
then yeah. Let's,
You could put on like some British drama on Netflix and he's out like a light and then tube him and set him free.
I think I would have done anything to not have to go through that night before again.
You know what? I've done it a few times because I've had stomach issues as well, and I'm just saying that night before is the
Yeah,
worst
that's the
part.
worst.
Yeah,
That's
it
gotta be
is
the worst part.
Absolutely the
I'm-
worst part.
I'm thankful
I knew
young
that
enough
they would
that I
call
haven't
me.
gotten this yet.
I knew.
What
that
did they
would
say?
call me
Was that
during
the
show.
doctor?
That's I'm calling them back to reschedule, but I knew they'd called that. Yeah, because
Okay.
I have to reschedule now.
Okay.
So I'm there, and I just feel like I've wasted everybody's time, and you feel like a failure because you're not doing it the right
You're
way,
not a
and there are
failure
different
because
ways
you
of doing
did,
it.
You did what you thought was right. You did
Yeah, but it's
everything
like,
you thought was right.
What's wrong with my, insides that said? But I didn't ask that question. I just made the decision and decided to bag that. And it's just you can't leave that situation without feeling like there's no relief, so to speak. there's nothing but what a collective waste of everybody's day, and because of me.
Will
And
you
then,
be charged anything?
I don't know. I don't think it matters nearly as much as it would have,
Right,
based
if
on
you're
the
not on
fact that I
Medicare.
have the state, since I am a ward of the state now, and I also pay for a supplemental. That's the way it works when you're on that. I spend a very small amount of money a month covering what isn't covered, so I think I'm fine.
Well,
I think I'm
Mike,
fine with that. That's the way it
here
works.
here is a bright spot. Is this time you'll be able to chill your jug because you'll plan ahead, and also maybe start a little earlier. Half hour earlier.
I don't know. I know what I would do because I go back online yesterday and I checked. All right, let me see if I did all this right. And there are like 20 different ways of doing it. They give you more stuff in other preps. They tell you different instructions, which
Right.
was eat lightly early in the morning. Well, that does not apply to pizza at 2:00, you moron. O'Mara, you
Yeah, they probably wanted you to have
dipshit.
Jellos and clear fluids.
I mean,
stuff like
really,
that. Broth.
God
broth.
almighty.
Yeah.
I just feel like such a dope. And there's a little blame to go around here. There's blame for me of not being more of an advocate and more diligent with what was an employee, the person I saw at
Right.
the office before this, who really didn't sweat any details at all. Really kind of just was half-assed. I'm
This
sorry,
one's
but
on
she
you.
was.
This one is
I
absolutely
could
on
have
you.
asked more questions and always be prepared. Ask all the questions. And now that I've talked to the doctor, he is going to do the prep differently. So he'll give instructions for what that is. And he said, we'll take care of this post haste. And so I'm looking forward
The
to
new
it.
prep,
So-
Mike, is the jug is smaller,
Yes.
and also it involves 24 jalapeno poppers.
The
And then,
you threw
Mike,
me off the rails again.
you shit your brains out.
So with that said,
Yes.
I'm driving with Carla.
Yeah.
We're heading back, and the phone
How is her
rings.
mood that you've screwed
She's
this up?
tired too.
Of course.
She's got to work later in the day. She's given up her morning for me, and she's
Not supportive?
She's very supportive.
Okay.
She's terrific. At least in the morning she was. Last night was a different story.
Well, she's fussy.
No, there are a lot of things at play. Stop. Let me just finish this point.
Okay.
All right.
Please, Josh.
You're exhausting. Where was it? Oh, as we're driving along, I've got this. The only time a-hole McGee has his phone on is right now. I swear to God, I meant to turn it off again. I know I'm not a professional that way. I know it. I had this thing on silent all day yesterday when I need to have it on. And then in the show, when I need to have it off, I have it on. That's the way my world's been going lately. And it's on silent, and I see it's ringing, and I'm like, oh, I better get that because it's the phone number of the place where I had the thing.
Sure.
So I pick it up. Hello? Nothing. Hello? Nothing. I call and I get, what was her name? Twitchy Bitch. I get Twitchy Bitch at the switchboard of the joint of the hospital.
Okay.
And I'm like, yes, I got a call from this number. I think they were calling to, well, they're not going to call, this could come from anywhere in the system when they get that number. It's
Right.
like,
The trunk line.
and she's screaming at me. And it might not have been a scream. I might be exaggerating, but she's raising her voice.
I don't think you are.
And she's old and nervous and twitchy. And I am like, okay, because it comes from, I can't tell you. I can't tell you where it came from in the hospital. This is a main number. You could get it from anywhere. I said, well, how do I know where I got the call from? I won't be able to help you with that, sir. Can you tell me what you're trying to reach? I said, I assume it's the endoscopy center, which is where, well, and then I can try, she's like overmatched by this information. I can try to transfer you over. I hang up. I'm like, okay, fine.
Good.
Later in the afternoon, phone rings again. Same number. I pick it up. This time I pick it up on the first ring. Hello? 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 Nothing. So I call back the number again because I don't know what to do. And I haven't called my doctor's office because it's coming from the center. And I get Twitchy Bitch again.
Same lady?
Yes, same lady. This time I said, yeah, I got another call from this. Sir, I said, listen to me. You don't need to yell at me, sir. I said, yeah, but I'm trying to explain what's going on, and you're so twitchy. Click. She hangs up on me. Oh. That was the last contact that I had.
Until
it was
this morning.
A bit of until this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the
that
doctor himself, or who was that?
What's that?
Who called you just now?
Just now was not the doctor. It was the window repair people from another story that happened yesterday before Carla got home.
I'm sorry.
It was the window repair. So see, Curious George, when I try to move past something, but like yesterday, Josh, when we're texting each other, how did it go? What happened? What did they put up your butt? Johnny, because ultimately he is a listener who is curious at what's in the background, not what the information he's trying to get.
Mike?
I think it also came across like that phone call was the doctor, and you had to call them back to reschedule.
No, yeah. I'm sorry. It was
and
not. Hold on. It was the window breakage people that I also have. I don't know how to lie about that. That's why I said it was the doctor, because I've got that later in the show about a window that broke in the house. And that's another story in and of itself. And I try to manage the show so that there will be content.
Mike, my annoying text to you that you just described was, and I quote, Mike, how did it go?
I didn't want to say how it went. I wanted to save it for today, and
but you made it seem like I was screaming ass and poop puns all through your text.
You were doing that this morning. That's
content. That's me providing content.
Oh God, help me, Ron.
You're fine. You're fine. I'm sorry you had a bad day.
It was no, you're not. No,
I am.
You're not.
No, I am.
Not.
I 100% am, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Because now you've got to go through this again, and this is not anything I would wish on anybody. This is a horrible thing.
It's not horrible. It's just a
process.
It is. It's not horrible.
The process is horrible.
It's not. It's a test. Everybody, by the way, I have a voice that if you haven't done that and you're over the age of say 40 or 50, and 40 if you've had digestive issues, and 50 if you're just an average schmo, you should be thinking about getting this done. And everybody should do it, because it is a curable situation if they catch it early. And if they do this every couple of years, 3-5 years, you're fine.
Right.
That's the truth. And so that's the truth, Ruth. So well, we've got the time. I will tell you part 2.
All right.
So I'm home in the afternoon. This is after I've yelled at the lady. I am not in a good frame of mind. All right.
Are you still sleep deprived? Did you get a nap?
I'm sleep deprived. I may have been drifting in and out of consciousness. Carla goes off to wash faces. I am the caretaker of my son, who is not in any type of organized activity this week. And he has fallen into the, Josh can relate to this, the late summer attitude of neediness begins to creep on with the lack of where summer's becoming too long. This is why the Japanese model of school all year is A-okay with me. That would be A-okay with me, because effing off for that period of time results in boredom, as Josh just said. And so, right? This is about the time they start getting bored, right?
Well, we had a pre-show discussion about it, no?
Yeah, I'm at a beach house with a pool 5 feet from me, and the kids still say they're bored.
Right, exactly. There's the idea of, because the stimuli, which has to be online and screens and all that,
forced on them at all
it's
times.
so manic. Look at the movies. I took my kids to. Well, by the way, over the weekend, I haven't even talked about this. We had my son's 11th birthday party, and we had a sleepover on Saturday night. So this
did
is
all the kids do the
weekend.
prep for the sleepover?
Yeah, they all took the colon blow and did it. So I'm glad you're amusing yourself. I will say this, that
You're fussy.
Well, of course. So Michael's coming out. Dad, I want to throw the ball. I said, okay, honey, I'm wiped out. There's a thunderstorm outside. I show him my weather app. I got this new weather app, the Weather Bug, that shows a map with circles in it, and it shows literally the lightning hits that a buddy of mine gave. It's a great app.
That is
Love to
cool.
sponsor him on the show. It's a Weather Bug, and I always mention this to Josh. He writes it down, and he will literally probably call somebody about it. So it's a wonderful app, and it shows the lightning. Well, the lightning is 1 mile away. We are not going outside to throw. I said, I'll wait in an hour. Let's see what happens. Hour comes by. He comes out again with his new catcher's glove, because he wants to be a catcher now. Said, Dad, I want to throw the baseball. I said, honey, it's still thundering out, and I look at the Weather Bug, and now it's 7 miles away. I said, that's still too close for comfort, and so we will wait till later. And then finally, it's still raining out. I go outside with my kid, and we are under the covered part of the porch, which happens to have a window close by, and we begin to throw the baseball in a confined area, which, for anyone that throws a ball, Josh, you're a little league coach, you know what I'm talking about. It's better to air it out and just throw it like that, instead of trying to aim in a 8-foot area to toss the baseball.
Well, you see professional pitchers make this screw up all the time with trying to throw to first base. They can't
Exactly.
do the little
You
4-foot throw.
The little 4-foot throw, it's difficult. And so he throws to me. I throw. It's raining out. There's still lightning around, but we're under that. We're safely under that. He throws to me. It goes over my head, and I'm sorry I don't have the glass breaking. Used to have that. I don't have that anymore. I don't know where it is.
I'll send it to you.
Appreciate it. I look over my right shoulder. The lanai window on the side, it's like a hallway into the bedroom, is on one of the 40-acre home sites that I have. I know it sounds bigger than it is. The East 40.
Yes, the floor-to-ceiling panel.
The floor-to-ceiling.
glass.
He has cracked the window. Shattered it, actually. But the whole thing hasn't broke. There's a star. There's a piece that's on the thing. That was the lady calling me saying they can't come out and fix it today. They have to come out Thursday and measure
noticeable.
it.
It's noticeable. You can't hide this.
Can't hide this from a certain face-washing spouse who, let's just say, it's that time for her. So she's a little tense anyway.
Sure.
And she's on the way home. So it's just been, what more can we deal with that? I look at my son. I do not yell. I do not scream. I go inside. I said, go inside. Just go inside.
How
And
How
then
is
he
his
comes out- he comes
initial
out.
reaction?
His initial reaction is just, he knows. It's the reaction of any kid when he, breaks a window.
It's tough.
And I get it. And then when I called the glass place an hour later, I said I threw the ball and hit the window. And I said, did you hear me take the bullet for it? Like it matters to the glass place who doesn't give a rat's ass. As soon as Carla came home, I said, Michael broke the window.
Did the glass place ground you?
It was just, and Carla is, not in a good mood because she's tired because she was up, at 5:30 in the morning dealing with all this, and the evening was the evening. And she was very sweet to me this morning, and I appreciate that because she knew I was coming in to explain all this. But I'm actually very happy to be back here because this is my happy place.
Happy to have you back.
Happy to be here. The broken window will be measured on Thursday and then replaced. It's not so bad as to require cardboard or any of that. It's
so
got
no
a tiny
weather is
little
coming
chunk.
into your house or anything like that.
Not that it would matter. A tiny little hole where at the center of the star where the baseball smashed into the single pane
You don't
window.
fear vermin coming in?
I don't have
Mice?
double pane windows. I found
It's not
that
a
out.
sniper?
No sniper. That's it. So, hallelujah. Glory be.
Glory be.
And that lady at the hospital, F you. I swear to God, you twitchy biatch.
You
I
should
just-
go down to the hospital
No.
and ask for the switchboard and bring her a Hershey bar.
I
and say,
had
you know what?
I know it's a small operation.
Sure.
Because you don't get the same lady every time. But I was just, and then finally, the last call I make, they turned me over to the endoscopy center, and they said, but they close up ship at 5 o'clock, and they got me through at about like 4:55, and of course, they're gone.
Yeah, of course. They've
Based
got
on that
dentist
endoscopy
hours.
center, I don't think anybody's going to miss the early meal.
Oh no,
So anyway, that's it.
they don't
I'm
have any
sorry.
digestive issues.
No, they don't. No. Steady stream of carbs flowing right through the digestive tract. Breads, pastries, donuts,
But nothing after 5:30.
no protein.
None protein.
I'm terrible. I will right this ship. I promise you. And we'll get back in a second.
Folks from all over love Amato Burgers. And now for a limited time, try our new app menu featuring
Pizza,
Oh yeah, I've heard of pizza. Yeah.
wings,
So
CLT.
The worst, by the way.
Watch it, which includes our famous Twitcherific fries.
I'm going to get a big box of French fries.
A huge French fry storage box that's great for sharing.
Wonderful. I'm going to have a French fry.
At Amato Burgers, we have food so good you'll want more.
Oh, F this. I'm still hungry for the French fries.
Eat until your heart blows up. And don't forget to load up with a bonus show subscription at
Amen.
MikeO'MaraShow.com. French fries and the bonus show. A great team you'll tell your friends about.
Get Chuck Norris on the phone. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Hey, sports fans, hot rodders.
thank you.
The Olympics are right around the corner. The parade is this Friday. Rob's
is.
excited about that. And
Love
if there's
the parade.
if there's one thing I know about parades, it's that hydration is key. Have you heard about the brand new flavor? Have you heard about the rainbow sherbet flavor? Have you heard about that? Huh?
No.
Oh, man, it's good. You didn't, right? You knew about parades at the Olympics, but you didn't hear about the new flavor, which I got, and it's sugar-free, and it's rainbow sherbet, and I'm drinking it right now
How
because it's
is
so
it?
damn delicious. It's fantastic. It tastes like sherbet.
Wow. And don't say. A lot of people say sherbet. Don't say sherbet.
It's sherbet.
Sherbet.
For both the athletes and the fans, Liquid IV hydrates you with benefits like electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients. 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink in a single stick. Liquid IV, the #1 powdered hydration brand in America. LIV Hydroscience, the science-backed formula. It's an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients to turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. 4 delicious sugar-free flavors: white peach, green apple, raspberry, melon, and lemon lime. And the return of fan favorite hydration multiplier cotton candy. And I got a new one. You got to call
This is
these people,
crazy.
Rob.
This is
Sherbet.
crazy.
Rainbow
Sherbet.
sherbet.
Yes.
Find out about it. I love them all. I love them dearly. Tear poor, live more. Turn your ordinary, that's how much it meant to me. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code TMOS at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code TMOS at liquidiv.com. So they didn't tell you about the sherbet,
No,
huh?
the
They're
new copy
really-
came in. They're just saying that, the athletes in the Olympics, they need to know that hydration is key. And even if you're watching the Olympics,
I will
hydration
tell you,
is key.
when that came in, it was in a glass as soon as it came in our door, and I love this. Vice President Kamala Harris has secured the support of enough Democratic delegates already to become her party's nominee against Republican Donald Trump. That's according to an Associated Press survey, as top Democrats rallied to her in the aftermath of President Joe Biden's decision to drop his bid for re-election. Prominent Democratic elected officials, party leaders, and political organizations quickly lined up behind Harris in the day after Biden's exit from the race, and her campaign set a new 24-hour record for presidential donations on Monday.
Breaking
Several
news
state-
from CNN, it just came over my phone, is that
Yes,
George
sir.
Clooney has endorsed her. So it's as good as done.
Several state delegations met late Monday to confirm their support for Harris, including Texas and her home state of California. By Monday night, Harris had the support of well more than the 1,976 delegates she'll need to win on the first ballot. This is a big deal, according to the AP tally, especially since people were speculating for weeks as to what would happen if Biden dropped out.
I have a small piece of tape from Biden that I think is
Okay.
quite telling. Here we go.
All righty.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
Yeah.
That sounds strangely to me like Lyndon Baines Johnson.
No,
who,
no. That's the president who wanted room for his nutsack.
By the way, no other candidate was named by a delegate contacted by the Associated Press. So this
Really?
is a big deal.
It
This
is.
is a big
and
deal.
unprecedented,
because,
of course.
Well, because unlike many times in political parties, they kind of flounder and don't know what to do. It seems as though, and I don't know, nor will I ever know, whether there is apparatus at work behind the scenes, but one would observe that they have their S together regarding this. And I think I speak for a majority of party members when I'm like, yeah, that's fine with me, because I think everybody's kind of feeling the same way, that they're fine with it. The people that are freaked about it and saying the negative things are on the team that's against the
Of
Democrats
course.
anyway.
Yeah.
So now the questions will come up as to, will there really be another debate or not?
Yeah.
That's what I wonder now. After the convention, I'm not even concerned about. I think we think running mate, and then there is. You would be putting your head in the sand if you did not perceive that there is renewed energy on the Democrats.
Almost
There is.
immediately. Immediately it happened.
And
Now,
the money
do you think,
the money shows that the people are excited. The albatross is gone, and we'll see, because there's a lot of work to do and a lot of proving to do. Even though this person's a sitting vice president, Kamala Harris has to get out there and deliver the goods, and she has not demonstrated in past incarnations of being the strongest candidate, but she certainly has strong qualifications for the office of president. So
it seems
we'll see what
to
happens.
me, I mean, it's always a quiet position, but she seems to have been one of the quieter vice presidents.
I think in the tradition of quiet vice presidents, which
Yeah.
is the norm, not the exception.
Yeah,
to the
you're
norm.
right.
We'll see
I
what
do
happens,
feel a little sorry for Joe. I wish this wasn't the way he ended his career.
I see, with the circumstances being what they are, I think this is. I think most people understand how hard it probably was to make that decision.
Yeah.
The level of ambition, the level of ego, the level of feeling of your obligation to service, which I do believe is true in Joe Biden, had to make this excruciating.
And that's why I feel sorry.
I
it's
am
just- it's
proud of
tough.
everybody associated with this, because look, anybody that watched that debate, there was no question. I came in and talked about it on the show the
Right.
day after. I'm sorry. That's the way it was. And there was nothing that happened after that to allay anybody's concerns. And it's not, as I said right after the debate, it's not the question of just the election and the campaign. It's the question of where are you going to be in 2 years?
Right.
That's what I was thinking about. So now we move on. And I think in the interest of getting party unity and getting the ship righted. I think that, I didn't know that before, but as I look at it now, this seems to be the logical way of going about it.
Well, it really
Go ahead,
helps.
Josh.
It really helps down ballot to get people back in, because even after the debate, Mike, you said that you might not go vote now, and I think that was their big fear was that
Sure.
if Joe's on the ticket,
Yeah.
we're going to lose all these Senate and congressman seats.
I have two predictions, Mike.
Yes, go ahead.
Two predictions. One is that there will be another debate, and I think she will be overly prepared and embarrass Trump because I think she's got the sauce to do it. And my other prediction is that Joe will not run in 28.
I do believe that when you look at the way I think Josh is right, because going to the polls, and this was in the back of my head as a Democrat, I was saying to myself, the idea of pulling a lever, would that make me a party hack? And people are saying, well, you are a party hack. No, I'm not a party hack. I'm really not. I voted for Republicans in other elections. So, I mean, I'm not. I vote my conscience, and it would be tough to do that feeling the way I felt about Joe Biden.
I
At
agree.
the same time, I admire the man for making the decision, the correct decision.
I do
think
too.
the country does
I do too.
As well. So we'll see. Now the whole thing starts again, and the nicknames have come out already. Lion Kamala Harris. I would still go. This is just advice. Mm-hmm. Some might say, Mike, why are you bringing it up? Because I can't help it. When I come in here, I gotta. He called her laughing Kamala Harris. Okay, somebody tell her with the laughing.
Yep.
Chill out on the laughing. Please chill out on the laughing. Please chill out on the laughing.
I don't think it's
can't say it
possible.
strongly. I do think it's possible. I think she's an intelligent woman.
I think she went heavier yesterday.
I think she went heavy, and it's a crutch for discomfort.
Yes.
Yep.
And she got to stop it. But if they're able to get old Joe out the race, I think people can get around her and take care of that. We'll have to wait and see. Ain't no biggie. Many Americans are frustrated with where they are financially, but apparently a big chunk of the country has a plan for that. And maybe they're in the process of trying to get on Shark Tank. In a new poll, 1 in 3 Americans, 33% say they believe they have an idea that could one day make them wealthy. That's America, baby. That's America. Yeah. That's why the Elon Musks and the Bill Gates stay up there, and we're all down here going, it's the next big thing. Mm-hmm. I get it. That's why I think people don't really get that frustrated with the major difference in wealth structure, because they think, well, if I come up with the idea, that could be me. I think it's always been that way.
Do you have
in
an
this
idea?
country. I always have a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have
Me too.
a really great. It's a new colon cleanse for people that have trouble with them on colonoscopies. Anyway, business ideas, blockbuster movie scripts, concepts, hot stock tip. Even if that doesn't pan out, 19% of people have a feeling in their bones that they'll one day win the big lottery ticket. Men are more likely than women to feel confident they'll strike it rich one day. That's 39% of men, which is versus 26% of women. And 26% of those who have a big plan think they've come up with a game-changing idea or product that's never been done before. Rob Spiewak, do you have one?
Yes, I do. 7-minute abs.
6-minute abs. 7-minute abs.
No!
You got it wrong. 6-minute abs.
Oh, God, no wonder I'm
that
poor.
old story from the sea. Josh, do you have the next big idea?
The Mike O'Mara Show.
There you go. That's God. He's got the eyes on the prize. See that every week, ladies and gentlemen. That's how I feel. Yes, sirree. That's how every day, feeling better about this dude. Pete Davidson has done his share of drugs, but he's over all that. Well, almost. In a recent stand-up gig, he said, quote, I can't quit. I can't quit weed. It's all I have left.
That's his sugary soda. That's his last vice.
He said he did coke and ketamine and effing all the pills and all that crap. All I have is
ketamine makes you like ripped, right? It's like
no, it's ketamine's a tranquilizer, I think.
I thought it was something that bodybuilders took.
No, that's I think that's a steroid you're talking.
Oh, see, I don't do
I'm
drugs.
Not sure. He said all the pills, all I have is weed left, so it's almost over, but I'm holding on for a little longer. So he's cleaning his act up. And
Good.
you know how that works. That's
It's
good. You
tough.
say
Yeah.
amen to that, right? Congratulations
Absolutely.
to Pete.
I just, you know what? I don't even think weed counts as a drug anymore. It's so common.
I think it's like having a cocktail. You know?
They're marketing it as safer than alcohol.
Yep.
The way
Yeah.
they're pushing it.
They always have been, if you really look back to the history. Actors are always saying that sex scenes are not sexy, and it's extremely rare for a guy to get aroused, but it does happen. So how do they deal
Mike.
with it? There is an intimacy coordinator named Brooke Haney. How about this gig? She says, quote, I'll tell the actor, I'd love to see a picture of her, but we won't. It's not out there. I'll tell the actor to do a few push-ups or some jumping jacks. That moves the blood to a different location, and we're all good. Some people who play lovers on screen end up coupled in real life, but Haney says her job is to keep it 100% professional. Here's her quote. One of the jobs of an intimacy coordinator is to make sure that we are making everything on set be work. I'm not going to be in charge of controlling what actors do on their own time. That's their business. But when we're at work, it should never be about their personal relationship. It should be about the characters. So there's an intimacy. I think that'd be a good job for you, Shecky. Be an
You think?
intimacy No.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be the worst job for you in the world.
I actually, you don't know this. I have been named on several documents as the intimacy coordinator for this show.
Yes, you have.
And here she is.
Oh, okay. She looks familiar, doesn't she? A little bit.
She looks
vaguely
AI.
familiar. She looks intimacy coordinator. She's interesting looking. She's not unattractive, so that's you would think that if you really want. No, I'm not going to get into that. It'll turn into just a whole parade of misogyny, and I'll get
Mike,
letters, and I don't feel.
don't
like dealing
get
with
yourself canceled, please.
that. All right, I've got something, Rob, that might not be funny for you. I want to alert the world right now. Okay. Ready? Is that
Yes.
your son? Is that your
He's
son?
going
that's
to work.
off
He's off to work.
Have a
Yeah.
good work day, Robert.
Love you, Robert.
Making sports. Thank you. All right. Beware, Rob Spiewak. You know why?
Why?
Bird flu.
Oh, no.
A second Colorado poultry farm has reported a case of bird flu in a worker, marking the state's 7th human case this month amid the ongoing outbreak among dairy cows. That's right.
Cows have
Birds-
bird flu?
Birds to cows to people. Colorado health official. I'm sorry, I messed up when I tried to say Colorado. Colorado health officials said the 7th case is for now a presumptive positive. That means that the person is tested positive at the state level, while confirmatory testing is being carried out at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The U.S. Department of Agriculture confirmed in late March that the H5N1 bird flu that had been spreading globally among wild birds for years had unexpectedly jumped to dairy cows in the U.S. To date, at least 168 herds in 13 states have tested positive for the virus. Amid the dairy outbreak, 11 humans have contacted the virus.
And a lot of people don't know this. The source of it was Larry Bird.
Larry
He
Bird.
started it, yeah.
That's right. All
Patient
started
zero.
in Indiana, ladies and gentlemen. There's the bird. And finally today, villagers living, and Rob, do not jump ahead with my joke. I know you're going to be
won't. I
tempted
promise
to when
I
you hear
won't.
the name.
Promise I won't.
Villagers living near the biggest sex festival in the UK are reportedly bemused over the kinky gathering. Thousands of swingers flock to Allington on the outskirts of Grantham in Lincolnshire for the Swingathon Festival, which is billed as the country's largest. The event is being held in fields tucked away from the prying eyes of local villagers and features play tents, pole dancing, mobile dungeons, and even butt plug bingo. Most of the villagers feel
What was
like
that?
butt plug bingo.
Yes.
Most of the villagers feel like it's all fine if they keep it out of the little town, kind of a live and let live attitude. The Swingathon organizer says things could not be going any better.
It's great.
Let me turn my mic up here.
Oh, okay.
We know a village in Lincolnshire where in the spring butt plugs grow there. That's all I have. Thank you very much. There it is.
That's the fun of it.
Did you go right to? I mean, I know your brain. Did
Of
you go right to
course,
Orson
yes.
Welles?
Yeah, I heard a gong.
Of course, yes, a gong. What in
What
the
is a
depth of
gong?
your ignorance, fellas? Come on, get me a jury. We have to take a break.
He'd be a good vice president.
So much on the show. Lots going on. Movie recs, the Olympics, everything. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Now you can truly be your best thanks to DermGlowSkin.com. They make it so easy. Just complete the questionnaire, schedule a call to talk with a medical provider for approval, and the pharmacist fills your prescription. It's delivered to your house. Boom. One injection once a week. Today's shot day in the O'Mara house. Get ready to lose 21 to 26% of your weight, along with improving your blood sugar, cholesterol, and blood pressure. It's FDA approved, and the results are real. DermGlowSkin.com offers semaglutide and tirzepatide for weight loss. I have to share one story with you regarding my weight loss. What's funny is when I do go to a medical professional now, they always weigh you. Go to a GP, they weigh you. Go to get a procedure, they weigh you. And apparently, some of these physicians or physician's assistants have my previous weight.
Yeah, always.
And they'll weigh me, and then they'll look at my chart, and they'll say, you lost weight. And I'll look at them and I go, yes, I did. So there's
what
that.
I always
Just
do,
to
Mike,
add it
when
to the list.
I always say, no, I haven't. What does your record say? This seems sloppy record keeping.
Listen, they've got the weight loss drugs for you in addition to NAD+, vitamin B12, Sermorelin, and PT141. Great boat. So whether you crave a
Cliff
sexual
Robertson.
boost, a cognitive boost, or reduced inflammation, DermGlowSkin.com's got you covered. Get it shipped to your door. Get excited and get skinny for Las Vegas. Get excited, feel like yourself again. Stop the food noise and start your weight loss journey today. DermGlowSkin.com. You are obsessed with the Olympic parade. Now, is that by the way, when I kick it over to you, please feel free if it's not the first thing you want to talk about. It was I think about the show mechanics all the time.
Of course.
We have a meeting before the show where we list the things we'd like to talk about. I have a few. Rob has a few. Josh has a few. And, depending on the priority, do you want to talk about the parade or do you want to talk about hard gum?
I want to. Hard gum can wait.
Okay, good.
The Olympics parade, where you get to see all the nice outfits, is this Friday, and I will always put it on, but only as a background thing because it's a long event. Mm-hmm. And I do enjoy perhaps the most are the countries that only have like one team member.
Right.
And, the Americans come out and there's 600 people and then there's one guy that's representing another country. And they have their outfits and their flags and it's very festive and it's exciting and nobody wins or loses. Everybody wins at the Olympic parade.
Yeah.
But there's one event that's new this year to the Parisian Summer Olympics that I don't know if it ought to be an event or not. And being a kid of the 80s, you would think I'd be a vast supporter. This year, an Olympic event is breakdancing. How do you feel about this? Yes.
What the F?
I know. It doesn't seem like an...
Is it much different than the dance routines with the ribbons and the gymnastic dance routines?
Or the ice dancing? No, see, ice dancing is an athletic
That's
skill.
skating. Yeah. I don't know.
This strikes me as the Olympic Committee trying to expand the audience, maybe. But I mean, it's
But has breakdancing been a thing in 40 years?
Could it be
35, 30?
Could it be other lands that they are doing it for?
I don't know. As it stands right now.
Are they going to breakdance during the parade, though?
I don't think they'll breakdance during the parade.
Oh, that's a bummer.
No. I know that would be good. And also, no floats this year.
Did they get the poop out of the river yet?
You know what? They've been strangely silent about it. We shall see. I don't know that they'll breakdance in the river. As it stands now, Mike, 40% of Americans surveyed think that breakdancing in the Olympics is cool. 31% don't agree with it. 29% say they don't. They're just not sure.
What is the deal with the people that aren't sure? What is the deal with people that can't make a decision? Come on!
And when asked if they think breakdancing is Olympic sport worthy, 29% responded, not sure.
I mean, I just think it's Josh, the idea of the people that have the little poles with the streamers on them, that's gymnastic. I mean, and I know that breakdancing is a physical activity, but the gymnastics that has been a part of gymnastics competition for years and years and years and years.
And it's fabulous. You have to admit the ribbon looks fabulous when it streams behind them. I love it.
Apparently, breakdancing has been increasing in international popularity over the past few decades. So
But don't
according
you
to this dance teacher, it makes sense that the Olympics would finally get into the action.
But I think of breakdancing 1989, 1988, people putting down a piece of cardboard. There was a couple of breakdancers at James Madison High School when I went. And it just...
Can you pop in, Josh, if you don't mind? Where is breakdancing the most popular? I smell Romania like I have never smelled Romania.
Is it a good smell?
I smell some sort of Eastern European flavor.
Because it takes a while to get over there.
And it also is like something that they'd like the clothing, right? The 80s clothing that when people were, hopping
I can
down.
see that.
Because,
And
it's
also,
not popular in the United States anymore.
I think it crested, Mike, with Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Which would be early 80s, correct?
Mid 80s. I'll get you a date, but I remember
Okay.
that being that was a sequel, of course, to Breakin'.
I mean, I think that there are sports. They've done it with baseball. They've done it
Yep.
with golf. But those are sports.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, this is not a top 10 list, but it lists some countries where it's pretty popular.
Okay.
Okay.
Brazil, Cambodia,
Okay.
Canada,
Canada.
Boo!
Japan, South Korea, China.
There it
That's
is.
the list.
It's
China-
Asian countries. It's got an
China.
Asian. It's got a
China.
Yes,
1984 for
China.
Electric Boogaloo, Mike.
1984. All right. Mid 80s. All right. Well,
But here's the thing. Although I don't think it's necessarily an Olympic-styled sport,
Yeah.
I feel that I will watch it.
well,
I
I would
think
watch it if it
IOC
came out. Of course, I'd watch
Yeah.
it. Absolutely.
I think it's going to be
The
good.
IOC president says that breakdancing is added as an effort to draw more interest from young people.
Just see, there you are. Me
The
and the
young
press.
people that love breakdancing.
Me on the press, right on the. I nailed it. I
did,
nailed
Mike.
it, ladies and gentlemen.
You know what? See if your son is into it, and then get him a piece of cardboard.
I got a movie reco coming up, and
Love it.
Also, with Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race, it makes one think about one's own cognitive power and being the elder statesman. I think we need to discuss that.
All
on
right.
this show. We'll be right back. Everybody. Hats. Not
Love
these
that.
hats, other hats. By popular demand, we now have an extremely limited run of the brand new TMOS Summer Cap. That is the ultimate accessory for fans who want to show their support while staying cool. It's available in red, white, light blue, black, ensuring there's a perfect match for everyone. Plus, tickets and merch for the Grand Reunion Las
Yes.
Vegas weekend are
there.
on sale now. And the new t-shirts that you haven't even seen yet, looking good. Don't miss the ultra cool TMOS commemorative coin. I got one of those right here. You can't see it. I'm far away. There it goes. So
Mike,
hurry
did you
up.
know
Yes.
that will be honored by any slot machine in Las Vegas?
Got the
And you can put the coin in. Oh, you have the koozie. That's very
got the
nice.
koozie here. That keeps the laughs coming at tmosstore.com. I've got the classic sticker. We have this on the
Oh, I
Omera
love
vehicle.
that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do. It's awesome, authentic. Get your stuff right now. Thank you for your support. And remember the Rob Spiewak motto that we always tell you about. Rob,
If you stand on it, we'll stand behind it.
there it is.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We stand behind all of our fine products.
But you have to stand on it.
Yes.
You have to stand on the T-shirt.
We're still working on that deal with Laboris to put those, Laboris out there if we get an opportunity. We really are. Ladies and gentlemen,
Omera Lavoris.
a movie reco. I was not always the biggest Michael Keaton fan, but his choices as he has continued into
He's good-
his 60s
good actor.
and now his 70s have been stunning. The latest film from Michael Keaton is called Knox Goes Away. And with the issues with our president and dementia, nothing could be timelier. It is, how would I describe? It is a stellar cast. It is some of the best small role acting I have ever seen. It's that good. And Michael Keaton is phenomenal in it. It's a Really, really good movie. If
When
you
did you
get a
turn on
chance to
him?
see it.
I have always.
I
from
never
day
liked
one-
Johnny Dangerously leading right into Batman when he was kind of that, hey, that punk.
Oh, but
I
that Batman was my Batman, so that really got.
Well,
but I also liked
yeah.
what was the movie Gung Ho? He was very good in. Mr. Mom, he was good
the
in.
punky, cocky Michael Keaton, I was not a fan of. The grown-up Michael Keaton, he's a great actor, in
He
my
is.
humble opinion. And I didn't see it with that kind of that punky attitude. And then, even with Beetlejuice, it was always kind of that thing like that. He
I'm
had
not a
that kind of
Beetlejuice
snarky
fan. I'm not a
attitude.
Beetlejuice fan. He made a movie about the meth problem where he was
Yes.
a doctor.
The
that
opioid
was-
crisis.
Yes,
He was
so
phenomenal
good,
in that.
So good.
God,
and he
there's
also
so many
saved,
of them. I wish I remember the title of that Michael Keaton opioid movie or miniseries. I think it was a miniseries.
I think it was a miniseries.
And
he also
it was awesome, really.
He saved the movie The Flash because The Flash would have been a disaster without his Batman in it.
He
I really
does
like
the
Michael Keaton.
superhero thing and then comes back and does smaller films
Dope
that are
Sick.
really good. What
Dope
was
Sick.
it?
Dope Sick.
Dope
Yeah.
Sick, in my humble opinion, the definitive series
There
about
was
the
a few.
opioid crisis.
There was a few things
good.
out at the same time, and Dope Sick was by far the best one about that.
This one, when you're watching a really, really good movie and you're really appreciating it, you start to just check off the number of performances that are spectacular, and this is one of them. It's just great performance after great performance, good idea in concept.
Any other
to do
stars
the
in
way-
it that we would know?
Oh my God, I'm trying to think. They're faces that you will recognize in
All right.
this. It's solid. Pacino's in it. He's another famous person.
How
Pacino
Pacino
is
is he in it?
He's Pacino being Pacino again.
Oh,
It's just
no.
always kind of like that.
Yeah, I think he crested on that in his Nazi hunting show.
I
He was
saw
really
a viral
Pacino
video
in
of
that.
somebody slamming Pacino. It was the director of The Exorcist, William Friedkin, who
He's
really
passed
was
now, hasn't he?
He was slamming Al Pacino.
Wow.
Talking about the effort put in by Gene Hackman. And then comparing him to Pacino. I wouldn't say the same. He said something like, I wouldn't say the same thing about Al Pacino. Really knocked Al Pacino, the way Pacino handles.
When's the last
doing
time
movies.
Pacino made a movie that was valued? The Blind movie?
Boy, oh boy. Was the Blind movie
Scent of a Woman?
before or after Any Given Sunday?
I
Because
think
Any
it was
Given Sunday-
before. Any Kevin Sunday is when we first saw the cracks in the armor, I think of.
So check it out. It's called Knox.
love it.
Goes Away. You'll like that.
Is it streaming on a service? Do you know offhand?
Oh man, I think it's Apple. I think it's
Okay.
Apple, but I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
It looks like it's on all of them for purchase.
Yeah, for purchase,
Oh, good.
you can rent
Okay.
it. You can rent it. We rented it, and then we ate it.
That you can eat.
We ate it right after we rented it, and then we ate it, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know about that.
It was delicious, everyone. You're going to love it. Eat it, Mr. Scholarship winner. Yum, yum, yum. When we come back, do you have a side for us?
Got a
ladies and
robust
gentlemen?
one today.
A robust side?
Yes.
Hey, Lost Wages, Las Vegas. The time is now. TMOS is returning to Las Vegas for our grand reunion weekend. Saturday, November 9th. Come be a part of a live poolside taping of your favorite podcast. That's us. We're going to be on the elegant rooftop citrus deck of the downtown Grand Hotel. Book your rooms now so you don't miss any of the fun I will be doing at the Grand Hotel. I will be doing bed check. I will. I'll be doing bed check at 3 o'clock in the morning for everyone. Please do not bring firearms. It's a full-scale hotel takeover, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. Take the whole weekend and be part of our exclusive slots and blackjack tournaments, the ladies of TMOS brunch, special discounted hotel rates, limited edition swag, and a whole lot more. Find Rob on the property, and he will literally give you a piece of hard candy. I
Mike
love
had
it.
arrived.
You know, we got a great text or a message to Carla where somebody was saying, I didn't think I had the opportunity to go at that time. I had a commitment here, but I got out of the commitment. And I'm
Nice.
coming, and
Love
you
it.
got plenty of time to get your ducks in a row, to get out there and do it. Get your tickets though to the show. Get that first. That's the most important part. And then, right after that, get your hotel room and get a piece of hard candy from Rob when he sees you in the lobby. And get an Earl Weaver action figure from Josh. Some restrictions may apply. Grab your tickets and more info at MikeO'MaraShow.com. There's no better way to reunite with your TMOS family and no better place to do it. Join us as we take over the Downtown Grand Hotel the weekend of November 9th. We can't wait to see you there.
Hello.
She'll be there.
Rob's bringing his whole family. It's going to be great.
The flip side.
All right, sometimes, Mike, it's weird how the past can just come back and repeat itself. This is 37 years ago, 1987. I'm going to play this tape. The Letterman Show. Also, I left a little bit of the front on. It's a top 10 list. Do you remember when Letterman had a small fountain installed in front of his desk so that he could do the prancing fluids when he wanted?
I don't remember that part, but I'm sure it was.
It was
I'm
great.
Sure it was Letterman. It sounds like all Letterman to me.
Well, this was the night they filled it with cinnamon mouthwash, and so we get a chance to see the prancing fluids, but also a top 10 list that you would not think would have existed 37 years ago.
So wait a minute. He's got the fountain in front of him, and why do they put mouthwash in it? Are they
because it's Letterman. It's just, he wanted it to be red. Yeah, he wanted the fountain to be red.
Okay, I get it.
But I just like to see the prancing fluids. It's just a moment of that. The real point of the tape is the top 10 list.
Smells like the Dentine factory blew up. I don't even know what that means. Here we go. It's our top 10 list tonight. Tonight's category from Scottsdale, Arizona. Top 10 reasons Joe Biden dropped out of the race.
Oh, wow.
What was the deal on this guy, by the way? These Democrats seem to keep shooting themselves in the foot, don't they?
Whatever they do, they do.
Here we go. Top 10 reasons Joe Biden dropped out of the race. Number 10, to promote his new album, Bad. Number 9, plans to spend more time with his imaginary coal miner relatives. Number 8, he accidentally delivered Nixon's resignation speech. Number 7, realized he didn't have a chance against the Gebhardt juggernaut. Number 6, his term paper business is really taking off. Number 5, could not pronounce Ich bin ein Berliner. Number 4, finally got tickets for Last Leg of Dead tour. Number 3, decided to run for presidency of the Hair Club for Men. Number 2, the new monkeys are on TV now and a man has just so much time. Number 1, wants to chase skirts full-time with Gary Hart.
There's some older. There's Anton, young Anton. Those are some oldie references right there. Gary Hart, remember him?
But it's so weird that long ago that would have been the same thing. I was just, it threw me. This was a great weekend for the movie Twisters, which is a disaster movie.
Yes.
And Hollywood Reporter put together a list of the best disaster movies. They put Twister at number 3.
Can I interrupt for a second?
At number 3, yes.
Tomorrow, I will tell you about the kid's birthday party that I enjoyed over the weekend. Our friends Scott and Jennifer brought their son, who's a dear friend, both their sons, their twins, Austin and Aiden, to the party and hung out with us at dinner afterwards. And they went to see Twisters.
And?
I'll give you the review.
Okay. Well, Twisters comes in as the 3rd greatest disaster movie of all time, according to the Hollywood Reporter. At number 2, my favorite, Poseidon
Twisters,
Adventure.
the plural, the new one, or Twister,
the new one.
the original?
The new one has a 92% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Which
okay.
seems
That's interesting.
impossible.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Poseidon Adventure at number 2, which is a great disaster movie. I do love the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, but number 1, do you know what they named number 1? I'll give you a hint. Same producer as Poseidon Adventure.
Towering Inferno.
Exactly. And just for fun, I
wouldn't give that a number 1. I wouldn't give that
either.
a number 1 by any stretch of the imagination. I would not. I think Poseidon Adventure wipes its butt with Towering Inferno.
I agree, and I would watch that movie. But I want you to hear the cast list of Towering Inferno. It almost sounds like a joke.
All right, I'm going to throw them out. I'm going to throw these are off the top of my head.
Okay.
It has to have Charlton Heston in it.
I don't think he's in it. I don't think he's in
Really?
Inferno.
Okay, then go ahead. I'm not going to
All right,
interrupt
and I'll have a story about it in a second. Hold on.
Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, William Holden, Faye Dunaway, Fred Astaire, Susan Blakely, Richard Chamberlain, Jennifer Jones, O.J. Simpson, Robert Vaughn, and Robert Wagner. The Towering Inferno.
Those people
And of course, Dabney Coleman.
Something's not done.
Mike,
Wow.
this is the movie that invented something that is very common when you have two headliners in a movie. McQueen and Paul Newman argued about who would get top billing. So what they do is they put their names diagonally on the front when they're co-starring.
I'm sure they didn't argue. Probably their people argued.
Okay,
right?
well, okay, the Newman camp and the Steve McQueen camp. So one of their names went in the lower left. So if you're reading left to right, they got top billing. The other name was in the upper right corner. So if you read down, they have top billing.
Okay.
And that has become a solution for a lot of people.
That's an incredible cast right there for a pretty crappy movie.
Horrible movie.
I can't
Horrible
believe
movie.
Faye Dunaway was in it.
Don't you talk about Faye Dunaway. She's probably the best
There's
thing
a
in
great
the movie.
documentary on Faye Dunaway that's floating around now on Netflix, I think.
She sure is pretty. Mike, they've got the cardboard beds back at the Olympics. Now, do you remember
I never
the
knew
cardboard
they had
beds
them
4 years
before.
ago? Oh,
Was
yeah,
this
is a
about
big thing.
banging?
Yeah. I've
Okay.
always been fascinated by the amount of sex that goes on between Olympians and the staggering number of condoms that they go through.
Well,
So-
it doesn't surprise me when you really break it down and
No,
think about
no.
it. You
Yeah,
know,
it makes sense.
There's
It
a
makes perfect
lot
sense.
of energy there. They're really not doing anything vicey, probably. 'cause
And
they're
after they
athletes.
compete, it's the first time they can probably relax in 4 years. So what they did 4 years ago is they made the beds for Olympians out of cardboard as a way to discourage sex. It would be strong enough to support an Olympian, but perhaps not two active Olympians. However, putting that rumor to bed.
So, in other words, let me see if I've got this
Okay.
clear. They made it so that if they try to have sex on it, it would collapse.
Mhm. It's literally made of strong cardboard.
Stupid solution.
Well, Mike, we can put that rumor to rest thanks to this Irish gymnast who put the bed to the test.
Paris Olympic Games, and they once again have these cardboard anti-sex beds. When I tested them last time, they withstood my testing. Maybe I wasn't rigorous enough though.
He's just jumping up and down as hard as he can.
Nope, they passed the test. It's fake. Fake news.
Fake news.
It's a
probably just
fake
because they were
news.
cheap, right? They were cheap.
I think that's the case. Yeah, I do too. Now, Mike, we are hated nationwide. I'm sorry, internationally, I think, because of the eating habits of America. I think that
Among
many
other
countries, yeah, but I think countries look down on us gastronomically. There's no one would ever go out in Paris to go to an American restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So, have you
You
ever
might
heard
be
of,
surprised, though, right? I mean, did you ever experience any
There
American food?
There was one that had some American food, like
Okay.
cheeseburgers and stuff, but it was incorporated with actually really good food. So,
All right. Okay.
have you ever heard of a fluffy Coke?
Yeah, well, I was at American University.
No,
it was after one of our toga parties. What?
No,
Okay,
not that.
all right.
This is a lady, lovely lady, and her meemaw talking about the fluffy Coke. And I think you will enjoy this.
Fluffy my Coke is. Look at there. We're gonna make a fluffy Coca-Cola.
You're gonna start with your cup and your marshmallow
She's
fluff and spread it all
Easy.
in your cup.
I love marshmallow fluff. Ooh, I could eat a big old spoonful of this.
Oh, meemaw.
Now you put the good ice in here. That's good.
We've got our marshmallow fluff and our ice. Time to add our Coca-Cola. Your mama doesn't want
Coca-Cola.
thing mess up her nails.
I always break a nail if I do that.
Into our
She can pronounce it any way she wants, Rob.
Pop in our straws. Give it a
Fluffy
taste.
Coke.
Give it a little stir. And cheers.
And cheers.
Can you use diet?
I'm gonna scrape the marshmallow off.
All right,
in my
Mike.
I'm sure you could.
Rob,
Why
I'm
would
saying
you
this
use
'cause-
Diet
hold on.
Coke with marshmallow fluff?
You know,
don't
just
think
to
it's
cut
that
down
bad.
on the sugar a little bit, sugar soda. You don't understand that concept. I do. I mean, anything you can do to reduce the sugar content would be a good idea. And I think that looks like something that would appeal to me. And I think it's time for another taste test, even though I haven't done the coconuts yet. I know that I failed.
What? Mike, you've
I know.
had like a week.
I know. I failed the coconut. I've been getting colonoscopy prep.
Make sure that the coconuts go through
Would
the
you
procedure.
be willing? Would you boys be willing
Yes,
to
of course.
acquire?
don't
And
think
I
it
will
sounds
use
bad.
it. I will use a Diet Coke with mine. I will.
I think it sounds to me like it's going to taste like a vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
But we shall see. But they said
Looks
they were very
fantastic.
specific. It has to be marshmallow fluff,
Yep.
not marshmallow cream,
Fluffy Coke.
CREME. Yeah.
Okay, so it's ice.
No. First
It's
you smear,
marshmallow
You do a smear of marshmallow in the cup.
on the inside. Then you put ice,
Yes, and then Coke.
and then Coke, and you let it.
And
kind
then you
of,
have to have
marinate.
it with a straw.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
that
I like
allows
that.
you to scrape the marshmallow.
I'll drink that
And
during the whole show.
and also it helps if Mima is around.
It reminds me of a snowball with where you'd get like put marshmallow on top of a snowball. Doesn't sound
See, you
bad.
can tell this man is in a summertime vacation destination. You can tell. Josh, you're all in, aren't you? You're all into this tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds great.
It sounds fantastic. And tell Robert to come by, too. You know, we'll all try them. Let's have tomorrow's Fluffy Coke Day. I might even go out and get regular Coca-Cola. Now, listen, Rob, I
Yes.
hate to do this.
What?
Please remind me coconuts and marshmallow fluff for tomorrow.
Mike,
I will
how
do
many
that. And I will
times
get
have
a
I sent you a
corkscrew.
text? 30 years, how many times have I sent you text that says, please remember coconuts and fluff?
Remember the coconuts, and I always fail. You can get coconuts you can eat in the grocery store, right?
But you were going to go get them out of
you
your
can.
backyard.
I'm not gonna shimmy up the palm tree and get them, and I don't
Also,
like the
with the
ones on
amount
the
of-
ground because I think they'll have pesticides.
Well, I mean, Mike, those
Throw
plants are
baseballs at
eating the pesticides and putting the poison in the coconuts.
What do you
It
want
would
me
be
to do,
certain death.
Josh?
Throw baseballs at it. You've already broken the window.
Yeah, and destroyed my son's eye socket.
But other than that, pretty good week.
Jesus, we are not good with baseballs in this house.
Mike,
Wow.
how about the old hugging mug? Do you know about the old hugging mug?
I don't have one in here, but
No.
Oh, the hugging mug. That was American University. If you would meet the right person and spend the night. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's a crime problem in Orange County, California.
Hugging mug.
The hugging mug, where people pretend to know you, hug you, and take your wallet.
It's a distractionary burglary is what it is.
That distraction now coming in the form of hugs, according to Orange County Sheriff's deputies. They're not talking about hugs like these. They're talking about hugs with the intent to rob.
They're coming up with new methods now. And one of those methods is offering a hug to somebody or acting like they know you and giving you a hug. And while they're giving you that hug, they're targeting a piece of your property.
Orange County Sheriff Sergeant Matthew Parrish says deputies in Rancho Santa Margarita responded to a robbery call on July 2nd. A victim said a woman jumped from a parked car in front of his driveway, hugged him, snatched his gold chain, and took off.
So I think the hugging mug, you would take it from the fluff lady, wouldn't you?
This is my Groove Life wallet here.
Amen.
All right, and if you're worried about a hugging mug,
Yeah.
just place this under your balls. There you go. Thank you. It's my
And then
advice
add
today.
ice,
So
and
you
then Coca-Cola.
add ice and marshmallow fluff, and you call it a fluffy a
What?
fluffy ball. Forget it. What am I doing? What the hell am I doing?
Let's
here?
close with this, Mike.
Yes.
You have got, I know in the past you have had smushed-faced dogs.
Yeah, we still do.
Yeah. And the problem with a smush-faced dog is, to a letter, they are farting dogs. I think it has to do
they
with
have
their
breathing
breathing
difficulties
Yeah.
too, most of them.
But have you ever heard a dog fart like this? I think this is genuine. It's so
Okay.
easy to fake a fart on YouTube because we've been playing
Yeah.
fart sounds for years. We know
Right.
that. I think this is real, and it might be the longest dog fart ever. Let's take a look.
100% based on
Yeah.
the dog's body language.
Because of the way
Is he
he's
doing
sitting.
Can we observe that one more time?
One more
please?
time, yeah. He doesn't cop a squat, but it's almost
It's
like
almost a squat, and it looks like an older dog too.
Yes, he's lost his control. Mike, as a matter of fact, this dog, after he farted, he withdrew from the election.
I would like to show you. This
sorry.
is my colonoscopy prep.
Oh, very
This is me Sunday night in the American.
Mr. O'Mara, did you drink any water?
Wow. Boy, he's having a rough time. So am I. Wow. Still doing that 2 days later. God, help me.
If you start to squat in your house, I'm getting to the next room.
From Virginia, the Carolinas, and the great state of Florida, we will return tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, with a brand new episode of The Mike O'Mara Show. Thank you for all of your support. Go to the store. Get your tickets for the grand reunion in Las Vegas, Nevada, the weekend of November 9th, and support us any way you can. That keeps this little engine chugging along. For Rob Spiewak and Josh Soroka, Mike O'Mara saying so long, everybody.
Aloha.
Want more? Make sure you check out the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
And what time did Mr. O'Mara's review come in last night?
Oh, he didn't come in here at all. We're all on computers now. You see, O'Mara wrote his reviews on his home computer and then sent it in here by modems over the telephone.
Oh, my goodness, how modern.
What do I do?